3, 2, 1. We're live.
Welcome, all our friends coming in live on Robert's Facebook, my YouTube, my Facebook, my Periscope. We are live. We are on the set of today's Career Experts. You are behind the scenes of our special interview with Robert Syfert right here, the business expansion specialist. So stay tuned. You're going to love this episode.
Yes, you are. Sound looking good. Wine's looking great. I think what we're going to do also is what he did bring up expansion. Definitely mention how he brought business back to 7 to 8 figures. For sure. I'm very familiar with your stuff. We went over it earlier, but in case you miss anything, I'll definitely listen. All right. I think we're just about ready. I'm going to slate this. Let's have look one more time to Robert so I can get the framing.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. So as he's going to be speaking, you're going to be working the mid camera right here. I don't know if you're going over it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, beautiful. All right, camera's rolling, sound speeding. All right. Make sure it's caught by everybody. Robert Syfert, there's the Career Experts. Take one.
Smile. There you go.
Count you off. Are you good? Coming at you live at 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to today's Career Experts. I'm your host, Ray Perez, and today my special guest is Robert Syfert, the Business Expansion Specialist. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thanks for having me, Ray.
Pleasure to have you here. And like I always want to start off with finding out, why do they call you the Business Expansion Specialist?
That is absolutely an amazing question. Reason is I've actually started and expanded several businesses in multiple industries. Some of them even in the 7 and 8 figure mark at this point.
My fault.
So that's where I get that.
We're going to cut that.
All right, good test run.
Not all ringers were off.
Mine, the director.
The director left his ring.
I don't think they'll take that. Okay.
This is part of the bloopers, everyone. You guys get to witness it.
Get it live.
You know what's funny? I turned it off and I turned it back on because Lulu said she was going to text me when the food got here.
I'll never let you live this one.
That's fine.
That was a good warm up.
Did you cut it or are you still rolling?
I'm gonna cut it.
All right, cut and cut.
Take 52.
So, really quick, run by me my questions just so I'm fresh again.
You're going to be asking him about what is this for title question. You're going to ask him about his book. Ask him about how he got started in real estate, which maybe that's actually better before the book.
Well, that's my initial one.
And then you're going to bring up maybe the software. So ask him, I heard you're also an app developer, or you're developing an
Is it
app.
proprietary? Can I say you have proprietary software? Can you explain to me about that?
Yeah, you can say that. That's true.
Cool. And then you're also going to ask him about maybe his coaching programs. So whether it's webinar or live, you can also mention the fact.
Yeah, and one of the things we always want to keep it open, right? You might not be doing it right now,
Yep.
but we want it to get everything as possible.
So we've done that and we're developing.
Correct.
Things to add to it. So
Awesome.
And then I think you should definitely talk about cars. Because both of you are car enthusiasts, and we had a little driving experience recently, so you can definitely bring that up as well.
But anything else business specific that we want the audience to know?
So when you talk about the real estate side of things, that's a smooth transition to the book, but I'm guessing it's covering the same information. So the big 3 things are his coaching programs, the
Real estate, the software in the book.
yeah,
The
real
soft-
estate under the software better the book because the book actually layers into what happens both.
Anything else?
I just launched another business, but I can throw that as the fitness side. So
Yeah, there you go.
Free
I can do
transformation,
something
21-day transformation.
And then I can talk about 75
out there. 100%.
Perfect. All right.
Cool.
Now,
My second journey. So
yeah. Okay. Perfect. So that's going to be the flow.
I've been a celebrity that is sticky. Yes, I need that.
Love it.
It's the second by a part.
Okay.
Rolling.
Here we go again.
Rolling.
52.
All right.
All phones off.
All right, and we are take two. Today's we were experts, Robert Syfert. I will, as always, count you down from 5, 4, 3, 2. Both for bus.
Welcome back to today's Premier Experts. I'm your host, Ray Perez, and today my special guest is Robert Syfert, the business expansion specialist.
Sorry. And the bus hasn't completely down, so just wait for my.
All right.
No problem. Still rolling. All right. I think we're good now. I'll count you off at 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to today's Premier Experts. I'm your host, Ray Perez, and today my special guest is Robert Syfert, the business expansion specialist. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thanks for having me, Ray.
Pleasure to have you here, and I always like to start off finding out why exactly do they call you the business expansion specialist?
Ray, that is actually a great question. I had to think about it for myself. The reality is I've expanded several businesses in multiple industries and continuing to expand into more businesses, more industries and niches. And some of them, a couple of them, have actually grown to the 7- and 8-figure range. So that's where the title comes from.
Beautiful. Now, I know you've had a very interesting and kind of rags to riches type of story. Can you kind of share a little bit, go back and tell us how you kind of got into the real estate business and how that all happened?
Yeah, I've had several ups and downs, as I feel most successful entrepreneurs have. That's the story behind the overnight success. So, grew up in a normal family, what I classify as normal, right? Go to school, get good grades, get a good job. Always had a passion for real estate, but never actually pursued it because that didn't fit the good job, good grades category. So, I went through life doing that for quite some time. I started reading books and studying real estate for over a decade. And at the worst time of my life, I'm giving you the short version of the story, but the worst time of my life, down on my luck, massive surgeries, my wife drained our bank accounts, moving states, taking full custody of my son, found ourselves on food stamps and Medicaid, and about to get evicted from our apartment because I was on the side of my current job trying to figure out how to do this real estate thing for once, over a decade later. And there was actually a pivotal conversation with the owner of the finance company I worked for. And he said, you know, you're not at the top tier of the company, but you have all the skill set. But the best salesperson I could ever train, there's nothing more we can teach you. Can't figure out why you're not successful. I think it's because you're trying to do two things at once. I'm sure that was intended to get me to fully focus on that. I literally walked out that day, a week away from eviction on our apartment, turned around and went back to the office and said I quit. Just told me why I'm not successful at real estate. I need to go all in. And so I did. And the rest they say is history. Tons of ups and downs, reality speaking. But I did save us off of eviction, closed the deal right after that, and then got fully started. I literally went full time into real estate when that happened.
Wow. And what would you say, what was the time frame from being broke to like breaking 7 figures? How much time in between?
So being broke sucked. But broke is a mindset. Poor is totally different. I want to signify that for some people.
Clarify that.
Yeah, so, right, I grew up thinking, I think poor is the mindset that I need to live off of food stamps and Medicaid and the free money I get, right? And that is a mindset. I'm stuck there. I can't change my life. It's circumstantial. Broke is, I may not have money in my pocket today, but I will have millions. I will have the cars I dream of, the houses I want. This is just a place in life. It's a dot, right? That I can look back on and say there's a reason I was there and I learned something. So I think there's a massive difference. It's all in your mind.
More of a situation, not a circumstance that you're living. It's more of a situation that's happening within your life.
Yes.
That's a great clarifying point to make, because at the end of the day, success really comes up to what you have. So from that time that you didn't have till the time you broke that seven figure, the reason I'm asking this is most entrepreneurs who are listening, are thinking this is never going to happen to me. But as many guests that I've interviewed, in myself included, there's always a certain amount of time that I've seen that it takes to like really just turn that key. What was that for you?
Yeah, so for us, it was, number one, it was the mindset. I can tell you the difference between then and now. It's nothing more than the difference in the way I thought, which led to all the actions and habits. But from the time I made that massive choice and decision to go all in, it was, we'll say between 14 and 18 months, because I think we'd done over $1 million worth of revenue by the time 14 months I did, because it massively took off. But by 18 months, I had already actually opened the second business with real estate, another part of real estate property management, and both actually circling down seven figures at the same time. So in 14 to 18 months, I had not only one, but two businesses. And just prior to that, like month 11, we're actually joking, I think I hit like 996. I was like, I just want to break the seven figures. I've done six figures before in my life, but that was a massive, super fast ride. It's actually, I mentioned before to you, the book The Magic was another piece of that journey in the very beginning that I believe magically added a bunch to my life, all mentally.
Now, in real estate, what do you specialize in? What's your area of real estate?
So I've done a lot of things in real estate, but primarily focused on single family residence. And to get really niche down to what I was really, really good at and known for, and what my company is still known for today, is turnkey residential properties. And it's why I ended up having a property management business. So we buy houses, we renovate them fully like a normal flipper would do, as you see on TV, and then we place a tenant in the property and make it a cash flow rental, and then sell it to an investor who's looking to have something better than the stock market or a place where they're, I won't say guaranteed to lose their money, but not as safe as real estate. Yeah.
So basically, turnkey investors come to you if they want steady cash flow. You find the property, you buy the property, you rehab the property, you find a tenant, you put in the tenant, and you manage the property turnkey, ready for investment.
Yes.
Which I think led to your proprietary software. Is that correct?
It did. That changed because as I moved from Michigan, where I'm born and raised, to Tampa about 5 years ago, and at that time we were looking to expand our operations in multiple states. Well, I realized the only way we're going to do that is through software. And I got turned on to some software that we started building for ourselves to say, okay, how are we going to solve all these moving parts and issues, but be able to control it from a central database online? And it was possible, and I knew we needed to leverage technology to fast track everything. And so we did. We started building a software to solve our own problems. In a result, I was in a very high-end closed-door mastermind for real estate, shared one component. When we built it for ourselves, we actually replaced 3 job roles, tons of overhead, and we fully automated the beginning of that whole process. Where literally we just needed 2 people on site in the state where we wanted to expand to, in any state, and we grew. Showing one piece of that in that mastermind, I literally had everyone sit at my table for lunch and say, so, how do I get your software? You don't. I'm a real estate guy. I don't do software.
Because the software was for you.
Yes. It was not ever intended to be a software for anyone else. And my software guy, literally I went back to him and said, there was like 80 people that said they wanted my software. What do I do with that? He's like, well, we built it for you to expand operations, so technically we could offer it to them. And that started. The company back then was no longer called Investor PO, but it was. It started because I flew out to California with him, sat down with some more developers, they looked at what we had did for ourselves and said, oh, this is massive. This would be a game changer if you build it for multiple users. And we'll just say that sitting in Silicon Valley and getting the bigger picture of where software can go to told me, I think I'm going to build software. And so I did. And ironically, I am more known as a software guy today than I am the real estate side. The real estate runs itself. There's a CEO in place, but software is my baby at this point, my second baby.
And so who could benefit from your software? Who's your perfect avatar?
Any real estate investor, truthfully, that is looking to scale and grow whatever they're doing, right? So whether you're someone who's never done real estate but you're interested in real estate, we we created the light version for the software to get you started and not have to figure out how to do all the stuff you need to be successful. And we're very much focused though on taking a real estate investor that's stuck in that they figured it out, they've closed a couple deals, maybe they're doing 1 to 3 a month and they feel successful, but they just know there's another level and they can't figure out why they can't get there. The software solves them, quite honestly, and the services we offer with the software, because we make it very easy for you to scale your business to whatever that means for you, just leaving your own job and letting this automate itself. We're scaling it to 7, 8 figures, wherever you want to take it. It's designed for you.
Can you explain a little bit? So, if I was a real estate investor, or I wanted to be dabbling in real estate investing, like, what are the different levels that I can benefit from your software? What can it actually do for me?
Yeah, first and foremost, the main level is organization. Most people suck at that, so they don't have all their leads on sticky notes, yellow pads, whiteboards, wherever. Software puts it all in one place and tracks it all. They don't know what KPIs are and that they matter yet. They will, and it does it from day one whether you think about it or not. Also, and even the light version, is the automated follow-up sequence. What I found that the game changer for our business was automating your relationship building through multiple channels of communication, texting, phone calling, email, mail in the house. You need to touch all those people to build a relationship. That's how you build any business. So real estate is what ours was designed for. And then from there, so that's entry level. Everybody has to have that. From there, you're going to start scaling and hiring people to do the stuff you don't like to do, or that you suck at. And that's where we have built-in done for you services. So our done for you services is we can do all your cold calling, we can do your marketing, we can handle your inbound leads, schedule your appointments, and then all you have to do is sit back and say, oh, my phone beat. I have a lead that says they're ready for an offer. Negotiate it and close it, and that's all you got to do.
Wow, so this isn't just software. This is kind of like a turnkey business solution.
Yes.
Because you're talking about, you have automation, you have follow-up sequences, you have management. If I didn't know how to run my business, you're going to help me organize and operate it through this software and your services.
Yeah, and we've even recently expanded to add on.
Hold that. So I'll cut that thought. Hilarious, fast, and it's gone. We've recently
even added on, well, we've had, but we revamped a complete CEO coaching background for EOS and traction, so we can coach you on how to be the CEO that we think we want to be, and sales training as well. So we literally do the coaching for the business side, we can coach you on how to close those deals. So the only thing that's left is for you to close deals. If you suck at that too, we can teach you how to do that. So we get the coaching, we do live webinars, we do everything to help you be successful. It's our only mission is to completely change and revolutionize that industry and make it simple for you. There's literally nowhere else that you need to go if you're a real estate investor or want to.
And there is no limit or requirements either, right? You can be doing multiple 9-figure deals, or you can be just getting into the business. You have different versions of the software for that.
Yeah, we stripped it all the way down to the lightest version and the core of what you need just to get started. So you have tracking, automation, and organization in one place, all the way up to the biggest player we have did $42 million last year in revenue. So it's not small. He buys mobile home parks throughout the entire nation. So it doesn't matter. And you can go beyond that. There's no limitation to the growth capabilities of the way we build this software.
Now, I've heard that you've also created this the same software, but you kind of like white labeled it in the sense that it doesn't have to be real estate specific. So anyone in business could use this. Is that?
In the top secret area, but absolutely, the lighter version was designed to head into other industries, multiple industries. Why I got into software. It's way more than just real estate.
Love it. And then the software led to the book, if I'm not mistaken, right? Can you kind of share how this happened?
Yeah, so I've spoke on a few stages and invited to speak, and I've continued to attempt to tell a 2-minute version of my story. And at my own event, it turned into a 3-hour stop story, which is the story that led to this, right? So you asked how fast did I get to millions, but most people don't see behind that is that sounds great and everything's rainbow and sunshines after that until you lose all those millions. And that is where the book came from. In software, I lost them all. And it really began looking backwards is now I can connect all the dots and all the bad things that I've been through building software, losing other businesses, having to sell them, having to sell my portfolio, and almost end up back on food stamps. Trying to hold back the emotions right now just thinking about it because I'm reliving it as we talk about the book. So the story is really we're writing the book to tell more about how I am. It doesn't matter where you're at. I've been there. I've been through your journey, whether you had them and you lost it, whether you never had them before. I've been in all those circumstances, and there's still a road out. There's always a path out. And so the book is really me finally being able to take all of that stuff and connect all those dots and realize there was a simple formula the whole time. And I always followed it, I didn't know it. And so the acronym that I love to use for it is faith over fear. And I can literally go back now and say, wow, that was a faith moment. I didn't know it that at the time, but I made a decision. It was purely faith. Everyone around me said, don't do it. Everyone around me said, you're going to lose everything. And I did. But I still did because I kept having faith over fear. And so the book walks you through all of that and how you can identify that in your own life.
Well, I think it's really amazing what you've gone through, and I know your whole story. So one of the things that I always say is that God will never put a challenge in front of you that you can't handle. And a lot of the times, He's giving you these challenges to prepare you and train you for what's next. Because if He just gave it to you, you wouldn't be ready. So I love that you went through such hardship, but then at the end, what was waiting for you, it really prepared you for it. And now you get to teach others how to do the same. I know that you're coming out with a second book soon, right? And you've been going through 75 Hard and some physical and health challenges and that you were doing. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so 75 Hard is not specifically a health challenge, but it's why I took it on. Mm-hmm. I've always pushed myself mentally. The book can tell that story and learn more. However, 75 Hard was this amazing thing that just spoke to me and said, you need to go through this challenge. One, because it's going to help you with your health. And earlier this year, I went eating all of 75 and dropped 30 pounds.
It's real rough. Sons of Anarchy are in town.
Yep.
All right, take it from 75 Hard.
It is. 75 Hard is a massive challenge. And so I took it on mostly for the health aspect. And I knew there was a mental component to it. I learned doing it, it was way more mental than health. However, I did drop 30 pounds of fat during my first round of 75 Hard. And I say first because I loved the challenge so much when I completed it that things changed. Everything around me changed. The way I acted, the way I showed up, I became even more me. I like to say that everything that we are, which I talk about in the book, it's already me. Yeah, right? Truly, just coming out of you and bringing it out, right? And so I was compelled so much that I finally sought down a sold-out book, and I got a copy, divinely sent to me through a friend, read it and said, yes, everything this book says is what I went through in that challenge, so I'm currently doing it again now. I've been a challenge for the crew because I require certain things. I need a gallon of water every day to make sure I'm tracking on my 75 Hard. I can only eat certain things and not eat certain things. So it's an amazing challenge. It will change you health-wise, but more importantly, it is, to me, I think if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, do 75 Hard. If you can't complete it, you'll never be the entrepreneur that you want to be because that's the point of it. You're going to go through storms. Those are the storms you go through in life. And so that's the point of it. It mentally challenges you to say, are you going to quit when it's hard? Are you going to forget the details that matter? Are you just going to give up, right? You're going to weather the same types of storms in business, and this is the best way for them to teach you how to do that and overcome those mental challenges.
And through 75 Hard, real estate investing, all the different businesses that you've had over time, you've created some mentorship programs to teach others to do exactly what you've done, right?
Yes.
Can you share a little bit about your different mentorship programs you have?
Yeah, so I've done a few in the past as well, coaching people from all over to grow in real estate. Now I have a few different ones. So one, we have the EOS and traction coaching that we do to coach you to be a better CEO, specifically geared around real estate. We do one-on-one and mastermind sessions with higher level real estate entrepreneurs. So as you're growing and scaling to a certain level, you're going to need help to get to another, of course, right? So we open those doors at that level, and we have that type of coaching. In addition to that, we also have sales coaching. So we're teaching you how to close deals. We found that being the biggest thing that people were lacking. We solved all the problems. We got their appointments. Why is one guy successful and one guy's not? He doesn't know how to close. So we're teaching people how to actually close deals and how to talk to sellers and care. Because it's really all it is. It's just listening and caring and solving a problem. And then in addition to that, now most recently I've actually launched change your life. You're lacking the accountability, right? And that's it. That's all true.
And there's multiple ways that they can do this, right? They can do it like live in person. You have some live events. You have virtual and you have digital, where they can study and learn this on their own. Right? You have all of it.
Yeah, we've done live events. We'd love to do some more. Eventually, we'll get back to that. But we do live events. We've switched our game up to virtual completely, so we can do that. We do live webinar training within our communities. We teach weekly on things, answer questions. We do a few per week. We do virtual and remote training for the fitness side. I mean, you name it. If there's a way to teach it or bring it to you and make it easily accessible to you to learn and grow, we have it. And whether it's little videos you follow along on your own or full-on one-on-one customized coaching.
This is awesome. If someone wanted to learn more about your coaching, your software, the book, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Whether you want to call me, text me, email me, check out all of my social media, you can find everything about me, book, and anything else I get into, which will be some things, at IamRob360.com.
IamRob360.com. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being on the show, Robert. I really appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on today's Premier Experts. I'm your host, Ray Perez, reminding you to never leave for tomorrow, which you can do today, and always stay true to your brand.
Cut. Awesome.
So is that good enough so we can cut?
Oh yeah, good call with the beeping. You
I
put
know,
it
I
again.
caught that. Wait.
And then a timestamp note, so Diego or David, who ends up cutting it, will know.
Thank you guys for joining us live. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you laughed and had some fun with those bloopers. If you didn't see it, watch it again and wait for the upcoming episode of today's Premier Experts coming to you live on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, and many different channels. Take care, guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye now. See you later.